This mode pack currently includes 3 modes for playing clips in various ways. All of these modes share some of the same functionality, so we'll take a look at that first. Buttons that are assigned to clip chopping, which in this case is the upper half of the matrix, will be assigned to evenly distributed start positions based on the length of the clip. Pressing one of these buttons will move the clip's start marker to the associated position and relaunch the clip, like this. Now the launching here involves quantization, and you can control the quantization to use with the matrix accessory buttons. The quantization that's used here is an internal quantization that overrides the global quantization value. So in other words, the quantization you use for chopping clips won't affect the quantization you use for launching clips. Buttons assigned to clip scrubbing, which in this case is the upper half of the matrix, will be assigned to evenly distributed start positions based on the length of the clip. Holding down one of these buttons will repeatedly retrigger the clip from the corresponding start position, like this. The rate of the repeat, as well as the length of the repeated section, is determined by the global quantization value. You can select the value to use with the matrix accessory buttons. With both chopping and scrubbing, if the controller has less than 8 matrix accessory buttons, triplet rates won't be available. Also, with both chopping and scrubbing, it's possible for the clip that you're using to fall out of sync. To solve that, we have realignment functionality, and you can access that by holding down Shift and pressing a button that's assigned to either clip chopping or clip scrubbing. To give you an example of that, I'll intentionally throw a clip out of sync and then realign it. Now it's out of sync, and now it's realigned. Buttons assigned to clip loop control, which in this case is the lower half of the matrix, will set the clip's loop to the same size at evenly distributed positions based on the clip's length. And this supports multiple button presses to allow for different lengths to be set. In this mode, the upper half of the matrix will be assigned to clip chopping, and the lower half will be assigned to clip loop control. The matrix accessory buttons are used for selecting the quantization to use for clip chopping. When Shift is held down, the uppermost button will stop the clip if it's playing or launch it if not, and the lowest button will toggle the clip's loop. The arrow buttons are used for general navigation. When used with a controller that has less than 8 rows in its matrix, you'll have a side-by-side layout. The left side will be assigned to clip chopping, and the right side will be assigned to clip loop control. This mode includes 3 sub-modes that you can toggle between by pressing the button used to select this mode. By default, you'll be in the chop and loop sub-mode, which is identical to the chop and loop mono mode that we just saw. The next sub-mode is scrub and loop, and here the upper half of the matrix will be assigned to clip scrubbing, and the lower half will be assigned to clip loop control. And the final sub-mode is chromatic, and we'll take a look at how this works in just a second. In all of these sub-modes, the matrix accessory buttons control quantization. When Shift is held down, the uppermost button will stop the clip if it's playing or launch it if not, and the lowest button will toggle the clip's loop. And the arrow buttons are used for general navigation. When used with a controller that has less than 8 rows in its matrix, the chop and loop and scrub and loop sub-modes will use a side-by-side layout, and the chromatic sub-mode will just use the lowest 4 rows in the matrix. As you can see from that example, this sub-mode allows you to play clips chromatically. The upper rows will play ascending pitches and the lower rows will play descending pitches. By default, these will transpose the clip and relaunch it. When Shift is held down, these will transpose the clip without relaunching it. We've also got a legato option, which you can turn on with this button, and this allows for legato clip launching. MIDI clips can't be transposed in the same way that audio clips can, but we can accomplish the same effect by using a pitch device. If a pitch device exists on the track, this mode can control it to allow for transposing MIDI clips. As you can see from that example, this mode is very similar to the clip play mono mode, but allows you to control 8 clips at a time instead of just 1. This mode includes 3 sub-modes that you can toggle between by pressing the button used to select this mode. By default, you'll be in the chop sub-mode. The next sub-mode is scrub, and the last sub-mode is loop. In each of these sub-modes, each column of buttons controls 1 clip, and alternating colors are used for each column. Now this mode will control the clips that are playing on the 8 tracks within the grid selector. So it's a good idea to pair it with a mode that can launch clips. So here I can switch to session mode, launch a scene, and now I'm controlling a different group of clips. And finally, in this mode, the arrow buttons are used for moving the grid selector.